perfectly and right into place. Awesome. We love to see it. This is Level 1 Adventuring. What is Level 1 Adventuring? If you are new here, we are a TTRPG and role-playing games content platform. We're a stream. We're a YouTube channel. We're a Discord community. We are many things. Hello, Nocturne, as well, for joining us. Happy to have you here. And yeah, tonight, Wednesday nights are usually our night where if we can get the gang together, we play some D&D, and that is exactly what we will be doing here, picking up our Homebrew campaign. Follow us on all of the socials if you can. We'd love to have you. All of our previous episodes are uploaded to YouTube. We'll be playing some D&D together as a community at the Discord very soon. Other shout-outs, I should say, StreamLabs and StreamSpell. We have a, an affiliate link with them down below if you want to use them to upgrade your own stream performance and stream visual effects. That's there. Also, I should plug this. This coming Saturday and the next 2 Saturdays, fellow community member of Level 1 Adventuring and stream friend Stella, who runs her own stream, is doing a 3-part charity D&D event, which is set up for Stack Up. It's a charity for people who are military personnel struggling with like mental health issues. Pretty cool cause. And I'm going to be a part of that. I have been for the last episode, so you can catch that on her channel. And for the next 2 Saturdays, I will be there as well. So check out Stella's stream. She runs a great show, and you can see me put on my best edgy anime protagonist voice, which will be a lot of fun. But tonight is our game, the Shards of Chaos, 5th edition, coming to you. And I would love to introduce you to my fellow role players, teammates, friends, and companions. So I'm going to throw on our little party pick so you can get an idea of who's playing what, and then I will have everyone introduce themselves. So let's shoot with Lauren first.
Hey everyone, I'm Lauren. I am playing Grey Eden, who is a half-orc druid. And I get so stupid nervous for these introductions, I literally have to read it from my sheet because I'm going to say it wrong. But hi, thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited for tonight.
Let's have Amber.
Hey everyone, my name is Amber. I play our half-drow rogue, Nadara Valier.
Nice, let's have Kimani.
Hey y'all, hey. I'm Kimani. I am our human bard, Musadil al-Assad, and it's good to be back.
Garrett.
I am Garrett Storm. I play our our tiefling transmuter wizard, Yoan Byrne of the Yarnhall Birds.
Beautiful. And Zach.
Hey y'all, I'm Zach. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can, yes.
Okay, go. Zach Mahler, nice to meet y'all. But I'll be playing Zorvarax Verduke, our dragonborn fighter. I'm a little late to the game, and Zorvarax is a little late to most of things, so...
You'll be perfectly in character.
Exactly.
Let's have game time stream. Make sure everybody's camera filters in. Oh, I just saw Passive Spy joined us. Hello,
Hey!
Passive Spy.
Oh, here we go. We're
Thank
gonna get all the inspiration coming.
Yeah, I saw Passive Spy gave the enemy influence or something like that, right? Like, what was this one?
Yeah, you can give friends and enemies inspiration now on the stream,
Yeah.
so prepare yourselves.
Interesting.
But yeah, speaking of our last stream, we'll do a quick recap because I know we want to get as much adventure as we can in tonight. So the party has been traveling with a young knight aspirant known as Percival Graham and his uncle, a well-tenured soldier, Theor Graham, trying to deliver a mysterious magical package to Theor's superiors in the bright city of Danareth. They've come into a variety of different dangers and perils on their journey to do this, and their most recent problem they've faced is after defeating a great monster that was attacking soldiers at the lake. They had reprocured their magical package, put it back at camp, took rest to make sure they could be readied for their travels by the morning, but before they could even start their day, have their breakfast, there was a big hubbub at the camp as the soldiers realized that someone or something had snuck into the encampment and stolen that same reliquary they've been trying to guard all this time. The party quickly put together who might have been at fault for this, and they sighted the Forsaken, who are a group of wizards who have now turned to a life of banditry after being ejected from the great arcane institution known as the Magisterium within the region. They had already seen the Forsaken once and scared them off on the road, but appears they waited until the right moment in the middle of the night to come take their prize and escape. The party managed to track them down, but not quite before Yoan had accidentally stumbled into one of their magical traps, which rooted him in place as the wizard bandits exposed themselves from the brush under an illusory guise, and they had all sort of, what's the word, illusory duplicates surrounding them, making them look as if their forces were bolstered. The party had to cut through some of those illusions, battle through the bandits, but eventually they managed to defeat their foes until only one remained, and they were just hightailing it, running towards what appeared to be just a steep drop, a sheer rocky cliff face overlooking some raging rapids, while invisible, by the way, because they were really trying to escape. But after jumping off, leaping off the edge, the party ran to go look to see what they might have done, where they might have gone, and they saw nothing. Not a splash in the water, not a breath, not a whisper of this mysterious assailant. And that is when Theor and I believe it was Zorvarax really strained their eyes against the waves below and saw there was the slightest hint, the slightest bit of a rocky outcropping which was jutting out of the side of the cliff face. So the party's wheel started turning. Gray communed with the natural spirits, thinking about that reliquary box as she sort of zoned in her senses on it, and felt that not only was the magical package nearby, but it was beneath their feet, somewhere in this great stone edifice that they're standing upon. So it appears that wherever this bandit went, it is beneath you. Bum bum bum, said Arquette, yes. Beneath your feet, dangling over this watery drop. And that's essentially where we left off last game. We were sort of discussing plans forward, how the party was going to try to get to where they wanted to go. There was talk of ropes. There was talks of turning into pigs. So we're gonna let it all. Yeah, we're all gonna let it settle. Oh, and I also wanted to say,
if the people want it, I'll do the pig thing.
If I had a nickel, but
lay down and you just jump.
Oh, I also wanted to say thank you to everyone. If we have any returning viewers from the bunch that raided us last time, right towards the end, and got us a bunch of new follows, thank you so much. Our follow goals have been absolutely been crushed this month. We had to expand them twice, so thank you so much. And if you're watching and you're enjoying the content, throw us another follow. Help us get to 170. But with that being said, does the party have any further questions before we get right back into the meat of where we were, which was dangling over the edge of this watery fall?
We did not take a short rest or anything, right?
Correct. Yeah, the only rest that you've had was the long rest that started your day before you scrapped with the Forsaken out on the field.
Got it. So I'm still hurt.
Wait, wouldn't you have had a rest by now? I feel like we had a rest before our last session, and you were. Oh, never mind.
I believe Musa D was not here that session, so Musa D should be fully rested. But everyone else had the rest before
that's right.
checking.
Yeah, that's right. You got that huge sneak attack.
Oh, yeah.
Like 20-something damage. Yeah.
Nope.
Bum bum bum. So yes, I know there was some talk of party had a length of rope they were considering maybe doing some sort of trick with.
Yeah.
I've got what's it called? Hammer and pitton and rope.
Oh, that's right.
Days, so we could kind of hammer something in to give us a little
extra oomph.
Yeah.
And I know that Yoan had made
trade.
Yoan had made mention of some possible trick that could be done with I believe I don't know if I got this quote correct, but the tensile integrity of the rope, I believe you said?
No, they go with someone else.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I had an idea,
You
but
had an
I couldn't get
idea.
it in edgewise.
Well, hey, we're here now.
Yeah, let's clear it.
Oh,
Hey,
now
you
you all want to hear it. Oh.
I see you
So we're
mumbling
not just
over there.
Well, I heard you simply being concerned about the fact that we could stick a spear in the ground, tie a rope to it, and descend. But maybe the spear is too weak. I can do something about the strength of the spear. But I need 10 minutes.
I think
Wow.
beer belongs to Viola.
Can we take a mini short rest in 10 minutes?
Just breathe really heavily, like.
1 hit point.
I can also use Featherfall.
Ooh.
It's an option.
I mean,
I'm guessing there's no way you could combine that with someone else. Like you couldn't take one of us with you if you did that.
It says choose up to 5 fallen creatures within range.
Oh,
Shit.
This honey.
Yeah,
Very
I'll-
true.
I'll
what does that do again? What does Featherfall actually? It's just we can fall without taking fall damage.
Yep, a fallen creature's rated descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends. If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet.
Ooh.
That sounds pretty cool. Would you say it's less than 60 feet going down?
It's definitely less than 60 feet, yeah. It's roughly about 30.
Oh, sweet.
Garrett,
I mean,
I
I'm
know
down
you've
for
been
that.
holding this idea all week. Are you okay if we do Featherfall?
It would certainly be quicker.
Well, that
It sounds a
also,
lot faster than yeah.
I guess that also opens up the question if we're casting Featherfall, so that's 5 targets. So that's the party's 5, and now we have Yoan and, sorry, not Yoan, Theor
Percy.
and Percy
Yeah.
as well.
And
to
Viola.
account for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Which is fine.
I
That-
still have the rope. We can just use the
Yeah,
rope. And
2 of us will
hammer
do
it
the
into
rope.
side and just use the rope. I think we should just
Maybe
do
we
that. I
can
think that's
Split
easiest.
for 10 minutes. We'll go down first, kind of get us vibe check, and then, you know, if we hit any danger, we'll have backup coming in 10
Yeah,
minutes.
save the spell. You know what I mean? We might need your healing words more than your featherfall.
I could use a healing word right now, actually. If you would be so kind.
Well, if you want to take a short rest while Yoan is taking 10 to cast whatever spell Yoan's planning, that's totally fine. Just, you know, bear in mind, that'll be an hour that ne'er-do-wells do what they will do.
Would we
but-
need the spell if we're using the pitten and rope and just like climbing down like the old-fashioned way?
I'm not quite sure what Yoan actually has planned with this spell. It could affect things.
Could the spell
Well-
help even if it's not the spear but like the pitten that we're hammering in?
I imagine so. Once again, depends on the spell that Yoan's considering, but I imagine so.
Yoan, I know you were asking about strengthening a spear, but what about this? And I show my, I don't know, whatever a pitten looks like.
I know I have one in here somewhere. I'm just not quite sure what it is. Just like a big metal spike, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Hey, can you strengthen this?
I think that's already as strong as I could make it.
I agree.
I just learned what this was a minute ago, and it seems pretty strong.
And I know it's strong.
Okay, well, if that's the case, if the party wants to move forward with the idea of using a length of rope, tying it off to a pitten, hammering it into the rocks, and then trying to do their best shimmy on the way down, we can definitely give that a go.
That works for me.
Yeah, I would suggest some of our lighter party members go first.
Yeah.
Rex.
I'll go last.
Perfect. So if that is the case, let me consult my notes. So whose rope are we using, if it matters for narrative purposes?
I'll use mine. We can use mine.
Okay. So Zorvarax rifles through his dungeoneering pack, eventually pulls out a couple of heavy iron spikes with a flattened head and a length of rope, ties a serviceable knot. Actually, I I
should
keep wanting to
probably
call. I want to call everyone Yoan for some reason. I'm sorry. I don't know why. You're all Yoan in my eyes tonight. Zorvarax, could you give me a sleight of hand check?
Can I ever, even though I'm not good at that at all?
Okay. Let me know if
That's gonna be, oh boy, that's that's a 2.
You watch
this
as
is where the campaign ends.
the end. Sorry guys.
You watch
I
as
done killed
Zorvarax is doing like the loop, swoop, and pull, like trying to lace up a boot, and every
He's
time
just doing, like,
Zorvarax
the
tightens
bunny
it, it just falls apart in his hands.
Can Gray help? I
Yeah.
feel like Gray has proficiency in tools.
I can also help because I have very good sleight of hand.
I don't rope. I do not.
Yeah, absolutely. We can say that we know that Nadar is definitely trained in sleight of hand. Gray, you said you mentioned there's a tool proficiency you might have that helps here, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I know we talked about it because I fixed the wagon. Remember?
Oh yeah, I think you have like carpenter's tools.
I mean.
Nadara, I will let you attempt to use your nimble fingers to strengthen this knot.
Okay.
You're just watching Zorvarax like constantly tie like.
I keep thinking I'm making a knot, but then it just comes loose again, like almost like a magic trick.
It looks like when
also
someone
notice
tries to
Zorvarax-
do. Oh, I was saying
notice
you
the
look
shoes
like
are untied.
one of those yarn ties where it just like knots up his fingers.
Yeah.
As Nadara's watching Zorvarax try to tie this knot, her eye is just like twitching, like, oh my god, this could be done so much better. So she comes over and kind of like shoos him away, and I rolled a 23.
With a
having
few,
an off day, I don't know.
with a few nimble flicks of the wrist, Nadara has procured a solid knot on that piton, and using your great strength, Zorvarax, you managed to drive it into the stone. It seems like a pretty good anchor between the two of your efforts. So I guess the question is, who's going to be the first one down?
I will take the honor.
I will
After
take.
you.
I'll go second.
Okay, we got Nadara.
I'll kind of like be there to make sure that the thing is solid, like in case it looks like it's starting to come out of the stone. I'll try to hammer it back in while everyone's climbing down, and I'll go last.
All right, so if that's the case, make sure I wrote down my notes correctly. Yes. Or did I? Nadara, I will let you take your choice of, because you're sort of what's the word? Repelling is the word that I want to use. Down. I will let you take your choice of either athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, definitely acrobatics.
Okay. And then if you can give me that check.
Yep. 19.
19. You watch Nadara almost like a fireman pole slide down halfway before just elegantly hopping off, landing on her feet with exquisite precision, standing on the rocky bluff just underneath you. That is a successful drop. Gray?
Before we move on, I want you to just ready my crossbow and just ready it at anything that may come at us as we're trying to move down the hill.
Nadara, I can tell you, since you're the first one down and you successfully managed to drop down without much issue, that before you, after your boots touch ground on the outcropping, you can very clearly see that there is a yawning, cavernous opening into the side of the stone that leads deeper into the cliff face. It's mostly dark because the cavern front is not quite facing the sun's height, the same direction, but you can see the faintest pinpricks of a bluish gray light in the distance. Does not seem to be moving at the moment, but it is a sort of constant in the draw distance of your vision.
Do I hear anything?
You can give me a perception check.
is my perception? Okay, I'm not sure about it. Oh, I rolled a really good one, 22.
22. You lean your head forward towards the darkness. Aside from the crashing of the rapids beneath your feet and the sort of constant whir of wind that gets sucked in and out of the cave entrance, you don't hear anything other like more suspicious sounds than that. No footfalls.
Okay, cool. I still want to keep my crossbow.
Here I go. No. I'm gonna have to use an inspiration for that.
Okay.
We're rolling them over. Okay, I'll have 2 more after this. No.
All right. So what was that total?
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm so sorry. If I'm proficient, do I add my proficiency bonus on top of whatever the bonus is for that particular?
The proficiency, depending on how
Should
the
be
sheet's
added
been
in
written,
already, right?
Should be added
Okay.
in already. Yeah.
So that's gonna be a 9.
A 9. Okay. Gray, you grab the rope. You begin to slowly rappel down. But as you're about halfway, you're about halfway there. Your boot gives out underneath of you as some of the stone crumbles. As you begin to free fall about halfway the distance towards the rocky outcropping. Can you give me an acrobatics check to see how you land?
Can Nadara help?
Okay, I got an 18.
You catch her?
An 18? Okay, so if you were about halfway down... we'll say that... So you got an 18. So we'll say you broke your fall, and Ailing's throwing inspiration at the chat to make sure you all don't tumble off this cliff. Gray, you free fall for a moment, but you hit the ground and you do like a tumble to try and like to break the impact. As you're tumbling, you're skidding towards the very edge of the rocks, but you see a gloved hand reach out in your direction. As Nadara, you reach out for Gray and manages to brace you right before you careen off the edge, and you sort of end up like sitting like with your legs dangling over the water, staring down into the rapids which are surging just underneath you.
And I play it off like all of that was on purpose.
In the course of the half of the free fall, I'll give you resistance to the damage for the high acrobatics save, but you will take 2 points of damage in the scuff.
Oh no. Okay, I'm at 10, just so everyone knows.
I am also at 10.
So with Theor and Percy still at the top, you see Theor give a steely-eyed gaze to Yoan and to Musa D. Well, who's next? It's all the same to you, I wouldn't mind.
Please.
And he cuts a look over to Percy. What about you, boy? And Percy is sort of like just watching Gray take a tumble over the side, cuts a glance over to Zorvrax. Perhaps it would be wise to ensure that some of our stalwart companions make their way over the edge first before I risk life and limb. Sort of like trying to find an encouraging word from
I'll clap him on the back. I'll say, "You have this, young man. No need to fear. It's just a rope and a cliff."
You clapping him on the back pushes him over the edge and he can't grab the rope.
He slips to his death.
But if you want, I will carry you.
Let me give 2 quick rolls for our Grahams, our Graham friends. Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba. Okay. And let me roll one other thing here. Okay. Theor decides to take the first trip down. Despite the impressive bulk of his well-worn armor, you can see the practice movements of a tenured adventurer and warrior. He wraps his gauntlets around the rope, takes a few slides, braces himself with a boot, takes a few slides, braces himself with a boot, eventually manages to get to the bottom of the edge of the rope without much issue. Percival watches his uncle do this, sort of studying the motions intently, eyes wide, sort of adjusting his glasses. Well, seems like a fair enough exercise. Grabs the rope, swings his leg over, and immediately, like the top of the cliff, breaks off underneath of his his fall. He free falls for a moment, but Theor manages to like position himself right underneath the growing shadow of Percy as he catches him princess style in his like armored arms. Percy is rattled, shaking, wide-eyed. I'll give Theor a check to see if he manages to take any damage in that. Ailing says, point of inspiration for Percy. Percy's gonna need them all.
Needs all inspiration.
Between, you can see, catching Percy's free fall like that, although Theor is strong, it was a pretty steep distance. And Percy, I should say, Theor's knees definitely buckle for a moment. You hear a pop from his aging body. They both will take 5 points of damage in the sort of collective endeavor of catching Percy. But after the initial shock is done, with Percy like clutching his uncle's collar and like rattling it, you can hear the armor like jingle, 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 jingle. Theor eventually says, "Percy, my boy, you can let go." And sort of like tilts his body forward as Percy like slides out of his uncle's grasp and eventually plops onto the earth. His stance is incredibly wide, as if he's trying to ensure that he's still on solid ground. Yes, well,
you did good, boy! I'll shout from above. Very knightly. I'm so proud.
Theor looks up to Zorvarax's shouts from above, and there is a very visible rolling of the eyes and a grumble underneath the breath as he sort of nudges Percy away from where the rope will drop. So I believe that leaves Musaddi and Yoan.
And me!
Oh yes, and Zorvarax, who is bolstering the rope, yes.
Still holding the rope, yeah.
Yoan will go.
Yoan's going. Acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
It's gonna be acrobatics. 16.
Nice. Very, very nimbly. Those cloven feet don't stop Yoan from quickly scrambling down the side of the rock. Makes it down without any issue.
Okay.
All right, Musaddi.
After you, Moo.
Stop. Does Musaddi know there's a cave down there yet, or I'm just assuming it's just a cliff and a rope, right? Does he?
Oh yeah, you can assume that the party has traded that information before you saw everyone start climbing down the side.
Okay.
Just throwing ourselves off this cliff for no reason.
All right. Knowing that it's a cave, I'm going to very slowly peek over, and I'm gonna roll the acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
No flourishes because I am very miserable that I'm going to a cave. 18 plus 4.
Ooh.
All right, Moo.
Make sure you make it sound good, but I'm still afraid. But it look good though.
Yeah, you do it with a flourish.
Exactly.
There's a trembling hand, but you manage to play it off like it's all a part of the plan as you slip your way down to the bottom of the outcropping, and now you are faced, unfortunately, with one of Musaddi's least favorite things, which is the underground, as that black portal just stares back at you. That leaves Zorvarax at the head of the party. Now, Zorvarax, I will say this much, because you will be climbing and no longer bolstering the rope, you're going to have a slightly higher DC than the rest of the party. Okay. But other than that,
that was what I signed up for. Zorvarax is ready. Let's do this. I'm going to roll that with advantage because that was a good roll. That was even worse. Oh no. Okay, so I got a
Oh no.
A 13 with my +5 athletics.
A 13 with your +5 athletics.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you give me? Can you
Oh,
give
no.
me? Do you have a D100 on you by any chance?
I mean, I have a D10. It's the same, right?
Yeah. Can you roll me a D10?
Sure.
Wow.
Can I ever? That's a 10.
Okay. Zorvarax, you begin to climb down the rope. You get about, same thing, get about halfway. Then you hear a very unsettling plink as the metal baton that's like holding you at the top breaks free from its stone and begins to scrape against the top of the precipice of the cliff. You go into free fall for a moment before, just by luck, just by happenstance, the edge of the spike actually finds another grounding point as it's sliding across the ground, and it like buries itself back in the stone.
Have
It doesn't
just
stop.
enough stamina in my bar to make it down the cliff.
Yeah. You manage just to keep your hold on the rope, so you go for free fall for a little bit, but since it grips back into the stone, you just sort of slam up against the side of the cliff. You'll take a middling 2 points of bludgeoning damage from getting banked against the rocks.
And you poop your pants.
And because Gray said it.
And I pooped my... we can make that canon. I pooped my pants.
But after you watch as Zorvarax's mighty blue... Ow!
Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm in pain, but also... that's worse.
As Zorvarax's mighty blue bulk slams up against the gray stone for a moment, manages to recover, and gingerly continue the rest of the climb as to not disturb the loosened piton at the top of the rope, and manages to put his clawed feet back on solid ground. The entire party is now dangling, I should say, over this stony outcropping which is looking over the water. And they are now free to focus their attention on the cave entrance proper. Any preparations or anything that need to be done before moving forward?
I know we can see the blue grayish like light further in the back. Is it completely dark other than that?
Because you have dark vision, you would probably be able to see into this, or for all party members who have dark vision, I should clarify. Although, I guess more specifically, you only know that there is light in the distance. You don't discern its color because dark vision is monochromatic. Other party members might see a faint blue glow in the distance. Yeah, I can give the party members with dark vision the following information. A natural cave formation is bored into the cliff face of cold gray stone. The sounds of rushing rapids water echo throughout winding passages, and a faint, wet mist rolls across the smooth, weathered rocks. Runes have been etched into the flattened rocks beneath your feet, emanating a soft blue, for you, gray light that is the only foreseeable illumination through the coming darkness. The walls are decorated with memorabilia and emblems. You don't recognize the symbols, Nadara. Someone else with dark vision may. Though all have been damaged and defaced in some shape or form. Banners and flags are ripped, charred, or show other signs of defacement. Talismans are strung up in various states of disrepair. Scathing graffiti calling for the end. Oh, I guess you can probably ascertain this much, Nadar, since you can read common. Scathing graffiti calling for the end of the Magisterium's oppression is scrawled across the cave wall. So though you're not probably familiar with all the emblems and heraldry of the arcane school, you can probably piece together that a lot of these symbols and flags are from said institution. There is a tangible, low vibrating hum of magic in the air, a certain feeling of low-intensity static that emanates out of the yawning entrance of the grotto, causes one's hair to stand up on the back of their neck.
Can I throw an Arcana check and see if this is some kind of very obvious magical trap?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, and would Gray also recognize the signs, the symbol, the language?
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, you can resolve Garrett's first.
Sorry, the cat.
Oh,
Oh
kitty.
boy. I rolled inspiration.
Might as well. We got
Oh,
it.
good thing I did. 23.
Do I have any bonuses for looking at this stuff with my Dungeon Delver feat?
You might. You might just have to give me the.
and traps, but
Got you.
you
Well,
can
we'll
certainly
say.
try.
Yoan, these specific symbols that you see, at least at this juncture in the cave, they are giving off a faint, what's the word? I believe it would be light, I want to say, is either conjuration or evocation, whichever spell school light is, which is escaping my mind right now. That is essentially, it's pretty much like a continual light spell which has been etched into these runes. So these ones particularly, they don't mark as something dangerous to you, but you know, there's still a lot of cave to see.
But do I get anything off that static?
Oh, you may. I'm typing in. I'm typing in the word static into my search engine, which is not what I actually want to type. It's just what you said. So I'm parroting. Yoan, there is another aura, which is you can almost taste it, that static electricity, like on your lips. It is definitely not coming from the light spell. It is not immediately visible to you. It seems like it's through a further distance, but it does sort of hint that perhaps there is more spell work, more spellcraft in your near draw.
The magic is thick here. Should proceed carefully.
What's a light spell?
It's just like a spell that creates light.
Oh, huh. Does Gray recognize the language on the wall?
The language was just in common.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have dark vision?
Musadi.
I don't think I do.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, because of the illumination from the runes, it is a dim light, but it is serviceable light. It isn't complete darkness.
But moving forward, it looks like it's darker.
We're gonna find out.
Does it get darker on the inside?
All right. So Gray is going to very quickly, so as not to fuck up, quickly use Produce Flame in my hand just to kind of show that I have it and can do it, and then quickly cut it out because I don't want to attract attention. But I'm of so little words that I want to use my actions. So just really quickly, I go like this, the flame erupts, and then I quickly close it, and that's it.
As a flame erupts in the palm of your hand, you hear an excited "Ha!" from Percy, who's standing nearby, as there's a gout of flame, and then catches himself. Oh, not seen you do that one before. Very impressive.
That's cool.
I'm not trying to show off. I'm letting y'all know if we need some light. But thank you. Gray doesn't say any of that.
Hearing Yoan's warning, Theor puts a hand down at the sheath of his sword. There's a metallic shing as it is unveiled from its sheath, sort of giving that stoic gaze, that narrowed gaze into the passage forward. No doubt there'll be more spellcraft, wizardry, foul afoot. I'm proud to take the lead if we need, but we should probably get our affairs in order before we march.
Yeah, do you have dark vision?
To this, Theor, gives a shrug of the shoulders. Unfortunately, no, I'm not blessed with such gifts.
I would imagine that would not.
Me neither, lad.
I produce the flame again and I shrug. You
know that Theor, being the stalwart knight that he is, would proudly march forward even without the gift of dark vision, but that just depends on whether or not you want to agree with such a.
We all know what male ego does. Okay.
I'll say, I'll put my hand on the shoulder. I'll say, we can't see in the dark. They can. Let them take the lead, my friend.
Okay. So it sounds like we got Nadara. We got Nadara, Gray, and Yoan taking the lead.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I would say me and Theo are right behind him.
Okay.
I kind of want to be maybe behind them. If we have two people with dark vision, I'd like to, you know, I don't want them to fall into any like delayed traps.
Yeah. Yoan's got the magic sense going on too, so that's probably going to be helpful. So we'll say Nadara, Yoan, Theor, Zorvarax, Percy Gray. We got like a little 2x2 situation going.
Hey, Moo, you got any fancy tunes to lighten up the mood in this dark, gloomy area that we're in?
So first and first, I'm still at the cave mouth, right? And I'm just like watching this little assemblage happen. Yeah, folks, they know we're coming, correct? Like, didn't we chase them into this hole?
I don't think they know.
They have no reason not to assume we're coming after them. Yeah,
I agree.
they should expect us. In fact,
Unless they thought they got away from us without a trace.
yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I thought.
I mean, we killed
It's to be determined.
many of their ilk. I think they're gonna expect us.
Right. That exactly. So with that being said, Musudi is gonna go poof, 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 and I'm gonna shoot 4 dancing lights. Sorry, I need this light. I refuse to go in without light.
Nice. I'm assuming you are making this executive decision because of how much you fear the dark, Musadi.
Yeah, and I don't know these people that much. You know what I mean? So I gotta protect myself. So poof, 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 poof.
No,
All right, so you can choose 4 points within range. I'm taking a look here. It's concentration. The range is 120 feet. Torch-sized globes of light, making them appear as either torches, lanterns, or orbs. You can also combine the 4 lights into a vaguely humanoid form of medium size. And then on a bonus action on your turn, you can move the lights up to 60 feet to a new spot. So your choice here, do you want to keep them as like floating motes? Do you want to form them into a body? And then how close is it going to be to you and the rest of the party?
Again, once I cast it, will it follow me as I move?
Yes. Well, it's concentration, so it lasts up to a minute, and technically as a bonus action, you can continue to move it. Since we're not in combat, it won't matter too much about your action economy. But yeah, you can mentally command it to continue to move.
Okay, so I'm gonna go poof, 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 shoot my 4 lights, and I'm gonna curve it with my hands, make it in the shape of a woman, and put it right next to me.
What is the color of the light?
I want it to be like a spicy orange.
Okay, yes.
Icy orange.
The voluptuous form of a solar silhouette, of a feminine solar silhouette, is conjured before the party as it saunters next to Musadi and illuminates the cave walls. So now the entire party can clearly see all of the markings, the graffiti, the memorabilia, damaged as it is, hanging on the stones.
All right, if he's gonna light it up, I'm gonna go ahead and produce flame. Keep it in my
Okay.
palm.
Whoa, Moo. Who's that?
One of my many lovers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, folks. Again, I'm assuming they know we coming, right? So why not like, hey, we're here, right, and do what we need to do, but not into the
But what's her name?
She doesn't have a name. She's just Mother Light. Just
Mother Light?
Mother Light. Yeah. Vision is her name. Vision.
Ooh.
Vision. Whoa. Vision.
Yeah.
Wow. I love you.
I love her too.
Theor watches as Zorvarax stares at this construct of light. Slackjaw. It's always
my
something with you lot. As it begins to march down the blackened passage before you, Musa D, for maybe creating a little bit of drama with this light, but also paying homage to your own fear of the dark. You can give yourself a point of inspiration as the party moves forward with Vision, the light construct, sauntering astride you. Okay. So, and as the party's moving, are there any other things that you want to tell me that you're doing?
Can I take a peek at the walls? Because Vision is now illuminating all of the like old ancient carvings and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. And what are you trying to do with that study?
I don't know. I guess a perception check to see like what this was here for, what these ancient cave drawings were all about.
You can give me either an investigation or a history check. I will say that they aren't like ancient; they look fairly fresh.
Okay. I'll do a history check. That's gonna be a 16.
16. Zorvarax, this isn't exactly in your purview. It's not quite ancient history, which is sort of what you're more interested in, being a dungeon delver. That being said, I believe you do have someone from your backstory who may have been possibly allied with the Magisterium, or with hopes of being allied to the Magisterium. So you might have seen some of these symbols in passing in sort of speaking with them about their aspirations for the future. These are very clearly symbols from the Magisterium, the premier arcane university of Mira, and they all are very much defaced, destroyed. The carvings that you see that are in common, once again, they all are sort of writing to a particular tune where it is like the oppression of the Magisterium shall be ended, like break free from the Magisterium's grasp, which is not necessarily verbiage that you would hear people use, especially those who are studying formally at the Magisterium, but there is definitely a bent to their language which insinuates that they are trying to rally against some sort of like tyrannical hold.
Okay. Cool.
Well, can I ask you a quick question too? Yoan had a moment up ahead where he was talking. Like, did we hear him have that moment of that outburst where he was talking to something that we couldn't see? Like, did we hear that as a group?
Sorry, you said Yoan?
Yeah, when Yoan, he
when Yoan did the firebolt and there was a voice. No, that voice was only for Yoan's ear.
But did we see Yoan have a reaction, like with like not this time? Like, did we see him react to that voice?
I'll let Yoan answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say you did.
Okay. Cool. Is it okay if Musuli just creeps up behind Yoan, because I'm behind Yoan, and goes, "Hey," right into his ear?
You want to throw a stealth check on that, or do you just want to?
Sure. God, I hate Yoan so much. So I rolled a 6.
Yeah, his passive perception's a 10.
So yeah, just made it there.
Yoan catches him on that last couple of steps, like, hey. Like, just soon enough to, like, still be a little freaked out, but, like, totally catch him. Hey.
Who are you talking to?
I'm not talking to anyone.
No. Up ahead, like earlier. I saw you have a little moment. Who are you talking to?
I'm not sure I know what you're referring to.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be a deception check versus insight.
Well, also,
check
he's just kind of saying, I was talking to someone earlier.
You had an outburst. Like, you did your firebolt, and then you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to wonder, like, what was that?
Magic things, heat of battle.
Okay,
Just
so
coming back from being entirely unconscious. It's all sort of a blur.
Okay, so I think that's bullshit. Can we have another rivalry roll off again? Because I think he's bullshitting me. Okay, so you said I roll perception?
You'll roll insight versus his deception.
What's my insight bonus? Do I have an insight bonus?
I'll burn another inspiration on this. Why not?
Oh,
I'm gonna burn an inspiration too then.
Oh, Ailing said apparently the Forsaken are mad they failed their final exams and now they're mad. They went
Really?
down with the establishment.
Okay, so what you roll? I'll tell you what I roll after you tell me what you roll.
13.
I rolled a 14.
Oh!
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
It seems like Yoan definitely does know who he was talking to.
So can I get a little bit closer? And can I just say, I hear shit too.
and isn't the bar right next to Yoan?
No. I know you're not.
No, I'm right next to Yoan. We're leaving. So Nadara's kind of like
We
side
were 2 by 2.
Yeah. Nadara's side was like, what's wrong with him?
Damn nosy.
Nosy.
I'll give what's the word here? Musadi, if you can do a stealth check past Nadara's perception, I'll make sure this conversation is completely hidden. But if Nadara peeks it,
This motherfucker jumping off the cliffs. Okay. I'm gonna roll. What's the thing? Inspiration again. Okay.
Wait,
Can I use inspiration again?
what's my passive perception, or do I roll?
She's gotta have all of the freaking.
I'll say it's your passive perception because you weren't actively spotting it, just seeing if you can hear it.
Yep.
Okay. And what am I rolling again? The stealth.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. And I'm using my inspiration. Okay. 16.
Yeah, he passes.
Okay. Yeah, to Yoan, I hear shit too.
I mean, insight.
The party's like just paranoid, like cross-checking each other.
Oh, that's a 7. he doesn't know whether you're being serious or not. Yoan's just gonna kind of look at Musadi and go, "You hear voices?"
Yes, man. Yes. I saw through outbursts. Remember back when you were fighting the gnomes, the dog things, the jackal things, and then I almost died. I hear shit, man. I hear it. And I don't like you. This is not me confiding, right? But just like I saw the moment you had. I know what I'm going through, and you do the wizard shit, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what's happening, right? Like I hear it.
Yoan just looks at him again quietly for a moment and goes, "I don't think it's wizard shit." And then he turns and like walks a few paces ahead to try and get Nadara to catch up.
And seeing him walk 2 paces ahead, I feel like I would take notice.
Look at you being nosy. You trying to figure it out so
bad. As in, like, does it look like Yoan is trying to motion for me to come chat with him, or just kind of like keep up?
I'm gonna say Yoan. He's like taking an uncharacteristic little burst of speed ahead of you into the darkness, which is like not typical.
Okay. I know Musadi failed that stealth check earlier, right? So I would assume I heard that, saw him sneak up. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it was only like an 8
Yeah.
or a 7.
So Yoan kind of bolts ahead a little bit. Nadara's gonna look back at Musadi and then look back at Yoan and being like, "What did you do?"
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you.
My sweet Rose. Nothing. And then Musadi also goes back to his spot, exasperated and defeated.
Aw. Yet again, I will walk up and clap him on the back. You did your best, Musadi.
Blue, you don't even know what's happening right now, Blue.
I don't
Super
at
snappy,
all.
super snappy.
Not even a clue what you're talking about, but I'm happy for you trying to inspire our friend.
Percy sticks his head
Gray
into,
also
I don't
walks
know what's
up.
going on, but I'd like to be involved.
Yes.
he can learn a lesson or two from you.
Nadara ignores everything happening behind her and kind of with Yoen. And she goes, I would like to whisper this so no one else hears it. So maybe. And so she go, is everything alright to Yoen?
Perception check. I wanna see what's going on with you too. So if you can tell me,
I don't even have to ask for anything. Party just gonna do it. Yeah. Okay.
We're just whispering so loudly in this cave opening, and like, and the bad guys are right around the corner, being like,
Wait, so I roll a stealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I roll a perception against my stealth.
The party just gossiping about each other. Like you clambered down a big hole, and now it's like now everyone hot goss time.
You did good. I'm really proud of you.
I'm bringing inspiration for this one then.
Okay, I'm gonna do a just regular roll. Okay.
Wait, you actually want a perception check?
Wait.
Yeah. I rolled a 17.
Okay, we need. I'm a 22.
Ooh,
Yeah, nothing.
that's a sad little. Ooh, that's an 11 for me.
So they get nothing. Are we waiting for something?
Oh, 12. Pardon me, 12.
Are you speaking to Yoen? Is that what you're doing,
Yeah, I'm
Riley?
speaking to Yoen. And I'm whispering to Yoen with my 22 stealth check. Are you alright? Everything okay?
Genuinely do not understand his vibe.
With that, you and I completely and totally agree. I don't understand him either, and I don't know why he calls me Pale Moonrose.
well, all this is happening. Gray is farting on the flame in her hand.
There's like a spark of orange light from behind the party.
Totally entertaining myself.
Another confused "ha" from Percy as there's like the smell of burning methane is in the air.
That's another fart. Don't mind her.
Our little author says the party has dissolved into nosy mean girls, and I love it. This is so fetch.
So fetch. As we continue forward, I want to keep looking out ahead to see if I see any movement. Or
Okay.
hear anything.
Nadara and Yoen, because unless anybody has anything else, I'm gonna move us forward.
Go for it.
Nadara and Yoen, because you two are sort of pulling the lead, and Yoen, you had such a commanding Arcana check when first entering the cave complex. I would like Yoen to give me an Arcana check with advantage, and Nadara, if you can give me your choice of either a Perception or Investigation check. Oh, and I should say, I know the party is lit up right now. Is the party also attempting to move stealthily despite the light, or just marching forward without any...
I mean, I would like Gray to maybe every 30 seconds look behind her, if that's something I can
Yeah, for
throw
sure.
in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess for me being in the front and also having dark vision, can I try to move stealthily since that's kind of a thing?
You can just bear in mind if to kind of get out of the range of light to sort of fully take advantage of the dim light or darkness. To scout ahead, that may put you at risk of some other effects that you might not be able to see. But if you're willing to take the risk, then you totally could.
Nope, I'm totally fine. I'll stay with
And I figure I'd be as close as possible to you while you're sneakily going ahead.
Sneakily.
My perception was a 13.
My Arcana was a 25.
Ooh.
25. Okay.
That's
So
high as it goes.
perfect. Really, that was maximum?
That was a 20 plus my 5.
Dang. Okay. So then, if that is the case, Nadara, you're sort of scouting ahead alongside Yoen, right? You're about to sort of break away towards like a new section of like the cave antechamber where there's like more darkness. But Yoen, there is that static electricity feeling of like the latent hum of magic suddenly spikes as you reach out and you grab Nadara by the shoulder to keep her from pushing forward into unknown territory. So, the party comes to an intersection in the natural caverns of this subterranean refuge. One path splits off towards the right, while the other path continues forward. There is one tall, upright stone placed just to the right of where the tunnel mouth widens into like the next antechamber towards the right. And there are a few symbols carved crudely into it, right? Now, that doesn't pique your attention, Yoan, but as you're sort of like creeping forward and you get that feeling of magic in the air, you look down, and just ever so faintly in the crags and the splits and the crack in the stone, you can see that faint blue light that's been illuminating the area, there is a more defined symbology, an actual glyph, which has been worked into the stonework at this intersection on the ground.
I don't like that. Is there a way around the glyph?
From the way this chamber is structured, it looks pretty. What's the word?
Not really.
Yeah, it's purposefully designed that those who are crossing the intersection will likely break the line of the glyph.
All right, everybody back up. Everybody back up. From his scholar's pack, Yoan is going to take a little bag of sand. Once everyone's up, I'm going to say, like, can we still see it about 30 feet away?
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to back up, like, 35. And he's just going to chuck the bag of sand onto the glyph.
Yoan, you underhand lob the bag of sand into the stonework. It lands with a thud as it rolls across the stones, and then finds itself in a halt. But nothing happens beyond that.
Why do you just have a bag of sand?
It's a long story, and I'm not sure I remember all of it.
Can I do a history check to see if I recognize that glyph at all?
I would
From
say...
my various dungeon delving days.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. Give it to me and then we'll see what we got.
Ooh, that's gonna be a 20.
A 20?
Not natural 20.
Zorvarax, you don't know anything about magic. You're not like magically trained, but
No,
you
I do
have
not.
crawled through a lot of subterranean complexes in your day. You have stumbled into many a trap, and that has taught you things, whether you wanted to learn them or not.
Yeah.
You are familiar with symbols like these that you've run into before, are usually some method of communication, let's say, with other denizens of the dungeon.
So it's like one of those tin cans with the string, where you hold it and you speak into it and they can hear it on the other side.
Once again, you don't know anything about magic, but you know that you've seen this symbol.
Something like this. You know that thing where you can talk to other people and you're not there, but you can still hear them? This is what that is.
It could be some sort of alarm.
Or a phone booth.
A what now?
Oh.
Says Percy as he's a what booth?
I don't know. I've heard of them in legend.
How large is the glyph? Can we jump over it if someone rolled a high enough acrobatic check?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say it would take a pretty impressive roll, but I'm not against the idea of you trying to.
Just launches yourself.
I would say
Leroy Jenkins! Every day I'm gonna have, every streaming I'm gonna have
one moment. I would say, with the way, there's enough stone that if you got a running leap and maybe like sort of tried to ricochet yourself off of another stone wall, you maybe could clear it. I will say that in so doing, you would kind of have to choose a path if you are heading straight forward or if you're heading towards where it breaks off towards the right.
Okay, but that would only let us, like...
Can we, shimmy around it? Is there enough space to avoid the glyph in general?
I would maybe allow like an acrobatics check to see if like you can tiptoe your way across without like stumbling in, like just on the edge. Yeah, exactly. Like pressing, like shimmying up against the wall and seeing if you could do it without.
Yo, and is there a way to dispel this?
I mean, I think that's the only way I'm getting across this without being noticed. I'm gonna need to shimmy by the side.
Sorry, you said this would be an acrobatics check if we did this?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you're trying to like clear it with a jump, I would say your choice of either acrobatics or athletics. If you're trying to like shimmy your way across the wall to hopefully not trip it up, I'd say probably acrobatics. And then if you have some other sort of wild idea, you know, we can go from there.
I have passed without a trace if we can use dexterity for any reason.
Well,
We get a plus. Go ahead. I know that's not like perfectly like what this is for, but it does give us me and the party plus 10 bonus on dexterity.
I think it's specifically stealth checks, though, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a stupid minor detail that I'm seeing right now.
That's a stupid but incredibly important minor detail.
Can I look and see if I see? I don't know much about magic either, but is there any type of trigger or something that can turn it off?
You can give me an investigation or perception check, your choice.
I'm a new perception because investigation is not my thing.
Oh, it looks like the stream is frozen on my end anyway.
It might kick back into focus.
Yes.
No, not very good. It's gonna be a 10.
A 10. Nadara, I will give you this though, even though it's not a. As you're scanning the room, trying to get the lay of the land to see if there's any like trigger or pressure point, you don't see anything like that. However, you do look at that standing stone, which is sort of been erected towards like where the split to the right is, and you actually recognize the symbols that are etched on the stone because it's written in thieves' cant. There is one symbol which is leading forward, right? That one reads requisitions, and the symbol which is pointing to the break towards the right says Central Hall.
Okay. So I'm gonna relay this to the party by saying, okay, so these symbols are written in thieves' cant. It seems if we head straight, we're heading towards requisitions. To the right is Central Hall. I know we have to deal with this glyph first, though. But...
Thieves can't what?
It's like a language, if you will, right?
They can't. But what can't they?
We.
Yes, what can't they? Percy, being prim and proper, would not know about this.
Let's just say, if you know the thieves' cant, you are probably not a law-abiding citizen.
Well, I mean, that's true. I am not. I am, so I wouldn't know.
Theor cuts his eyes across to Nadara. She says that, you don't say.
I mean, listen. Picture bolts and not.
So what do we do? Like, do we...
You got a couple different options.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
far.
and do you have any way to just dispel this glyph for Presence Sword?
Don't have any sort of magic that would do that sort of thing.
No, do
Yoan, I can give you this information. Although you do not have dispel magic proper, you could probably take some sort of prolonged, like Arcana check, sort of like ritual situation to try to dissuade or dispel it. That being said, should that check fail, that may incur, penalties or other circumstances. But I would allow you to attempt to do so with like a series of checks.
And I also have magical inspiration, so I can help you with that if you decided to do that.
I think that's probably our best option.
That's
But-
nice.
I also have jump,
So how long would
which can help me.
how long would it
Gray just like yeets yourself across the canyon while everyone's like
Yep.
talking about it.
I could certainly try, and of course the best option is putting me in the line of fire. All right, let me see what I can do.
I'll be here to protect you.
And I'll
I don't know how I
be
can help.
a little further back.
Of course you will, Percy. Of course you will. Would not expect anything else.
Arcana check.
Yes, actually. Unless anybody, is anybody else here trained in Arcana that can aid, or is our resident wizard our Arcana aficionado?
Not me.
I know this comes as a surprise, but no, I'm not.
I know you all were expecting me to know Arcana. So, Yoan, I'll say this much. If you can actually give me a series of 3 Arcana checks.
Oh boy.
And if any of the party has any other spells or abilities or things that can help him, you can, of course, lend them to him. But otherwise, if he's the only one with Arcana, he's going to try to make all of the checks on his list.
I mean, I can do all of the flips and whatnot for my athletics to help you with your Arcana.
I'll cast. It's an ability check.
Yeah.
technically?
Yeah.
I'll cast guidance, a little cantrip. Can I
That'll help.
cast 2? Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Gray, you channeling your nature spirits to help Yoan, what does that look like when you manifest that magic and give its power to Yoan?
Let me read the description again. Okay. I guess right now maybe I'll use the flame since I already have the flame out. Okay. So I'm gonna
nice,
have the
yeah.
flame, and it's gonna start. The flame's gonna start like thinning out until there's like a smaller, thinner, just line of fire coming out of the flame that I'm holding in my hand, and it circles him like in Pocahontas when she's singing "Colors of the Wind,"
Nice.
and then it kind of just like
Oh my gosh.
kind of dissipates, and the flame still stays, but the line that encircled him is gone.
Nice.
I was literally listening to that song this morning.
Wow, deep cut. we
Deep
have
cut,
Pocahontas
yeah.
on the...
Pocahontas for life.
All right, Yoan, you have a ring of ethereal fire encircling your form as you begin to channel all of your arcane knowledge to see if you can...
Am I allowed to add bardic inspiration to Gray's thing as well, or is that redundant?
I believe... Well, I think they can stack.
I think it's a bonus action.
I believe they stack as long as it affects ability checks.
Yep, it does.
All right, well then, yes. Musadi, if you would like to tell me what inspiring word you give to Yoan for seeing that you two are such close friends, especially this session.
Now I'm gonna play it cool though, so I'm just gonna do like a boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. As the flames are doing this
Strangely
thing
held.
around it. Yep, and just let that just do its thing over there.
Nice.
The flames dance to his tune just a little bit.
Oh, nice. I can imagine they're like spiraling on the boop. It's like boop, and they all like jump a little bit as they're like spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, point of bardic inspiration gifted to Yoan.
That's 1d6, right?
Yep, exactly.
Oh boy, it's tilted. I will spend that now. 13.
All right, that's 1.
Other ones. Okay, that is. Oh wait. Sorry, no, that's 18. I forgot to add my Arcana.
Oh yeah, get that. 18.
Yeah. That's the whole.
And then 12, and then 17.
12 and 17. 20th OD in the chat. Hey all, hey, what's going on? Happy to see you back. Trying to avoid a mysterious glyph on the ground. Let's see how Yoan did.
Asm.
Yoan, you have the flames dancing around you, moving in that syncopated rhythm to Musadi's bardic song, which is now echoing in the back of your mind. You begin to draw your own series of arcane sigils in the air, almost as if a counterbalance to the glyph which has been chiseled into the stone. You see there's like one mote of light. It's almost like you're cracking like an ethereal, like mystical safe in midair. You're moving all these symbols around. You see one symbol, you move it into place. There's a sort of a delightful tone of acceptance. You move to another symbol, it sort of like zaps at your fingers. with an unfortunate arcane sort of reconciling as you manage to not quite catch that last lock. But then spiraling forward, you find one other symbol, you line it up, you pull it apart, and with another very, very affirming, you see that the glyph on the floor begins to sputter, the lights begin to shift, and slowly it dies down as a very gentle fills the cavern as the glyph dissipates, and it appears you have disabled the magic at your feet.
Well done.
Nice.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
I believe you.
Well, you made it look easy.
Requisition
You did good,
sounds...
Percy. Even though you didn't do anything.
I'm here for moral support at the moment.
I think Requisitions is the one we should go to. Seems like the sort of place they would put a certain gigantic box of unknowable... What's it?
I agree. Central
I agree.
sounds like we're gonna run into lots of them, so.
Heading forward.
Split up.
Onward and
One goes
upward.
one goes the other way.
Mhm.
No, we don't want to split up. Okay, fine. Okay.
I mean, splitting up is never a good idea.
Really want to get
It's-
that far
it's-
away from Mimu City. Oh,
It's Central Hall, and what was the other thing?
Requisitions.
Requisitions.
Say requisitions.
The requisitions as well.
All right, sounds like the majority of the party is heading towards requisitions. To Musa D's a suggestion, Theor tilts his head. I've seen many a good platoon fall once the shield formation's broken, lad. I say we stick together.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm in a
Fancy
heightened
guy
state.
over here.
I'm in a heightened state. It's dark. I'm sorry.
The party marches their way past the glyph, which Yoan has expertly dispelled, and makes their way towards requisitions. It's a short little jaunt between the darkness of the tunnels and the faint blue light that are coming from the runes in the floor. Eventually, the party is met with another obstacle, a makeshift door of scrabbled together planks of lumber and driftwood bars the way ahead. Despite the crudeness of the materials, the barrier appears remarkably sturdy, likely due to some enchantments to bolster the bonds between all of its disparate pieces. A metal lock and chain is looped between the handle of this door and an iron spike pounded into the nearby stone.
You said the door is wood?
The door the door is wood and metal sort of bolstered together, but mostly wood, yes.
If I were to throw my flame at the door, would the wood part of it burn?
I mean, yes.
I mean, I have a hammer and a crowbar still, so I could take out whatever weird, thing is keeping it closed.
And it's locked, the door.
From what you can see, there is an iron lock bound to the chain, yes.
Can I try to pick the lock?
Sounds like we have a couple of ideas, so yes, I would say all these are equally valid. You could burn it down, you could pick it, you could try to pry
Just
it.
break it open.
You got a couple options. But yes, you're
I'll
more
keep
than
my
welcome.
patience a little bit longer, and then if these two things fail, I'm throwing my flame at the door.
So I try to pick the lock first.
I mean, we did all of that work to get past the room, right? Like, you might as well try to stay quiet if you can.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Quiet way works if we can.
All right.
All right, you can give me a sleight of hand check, and if you have thieves' tools afoot, I'll give you advantage on that.
I do have thieves' tools. Okay.
The lock screams as soon as you try to pick it.
Oh my god. Ooh, good roll. Ooh, both are good rolls. That's gonna be a 23.
23. Nadara, you crouch down, you roll out your leathers. There's a series of, fine metallic picks and pins. You slip them into the lock, and you watch as your hands expertly dance within that crevice of the metal, and then you all hear a very, joyous clink as the loop unbraids and slides down the chain as the wooden door creaks open before you.
Nadara is going to put away her thieves' tools and look back at Theo and go, "See, these are the advantages of not being a law-abiding citizen. You're welcome."
And I imagine that your bounty is also clean.
Oh, she's like proudly gleaming. Oh, it is not.
That was exactly what I feared. As he grumbles under his breath.
No judgments from me.
Pushing forward into the next room.
Yeah, this doesn't feel too easy. I'm in a heightened state. But like, this doesn't feel too easy. That we're popping past rooms, we're unlocking doors. Like, this doesn't feel like we're just walking into something.
Yes, it does feel like we're walking into something. But if we were less talented individuals, I would agree.
I was gonna say, let's not, downplay how
Do you know
good
who we
she
are?
is at her job.
Do you know who we are?
Have we named our podcast?
So far, no. The party is unnamed.
New mission.
Fine party name.
Moo and Blue for the win
Vito.
is my name.
The party, I believe, is pushing over this wooden door, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
As you push past this creaking barrier, this circular chamber has shelves and alcoves hewn out of the naturally occurring rock formations that compose its walls. Situated within these crevices are various odds and ends, such as bundles of herbs, clay jars filled with colored powders, and glass containers holding oils and preserved animal parts. Iron loops have been bolted into the floor, which act as holsters for unworked rods of wood, likely quarterstaffs in the making. In the center of this space rests an oversized, charred black cauldron sitting atop orange burning embers. A book of yellowed pages sits nearby, propped open with an iron wedge.
Studio in the
I don't like it.
Oh, it's just a
it right
spell
away.
book, everyone. Yoan walks up to it.
No way. No
Is
way.
this a dead
No
end?
way. What's up?
Is
Wait,
this a dead
yo-
end? Is there another exit?
From what
Yoan,
you
hold
see,
on.
moving
Wait, are you
forward.
really doing this? Or you can just walk up to the book?
All right. Yoan, give me an Arcana check, and if you
Sure.
are familiar with either alchemy tools or herbology tools, I'll give you a bonus.
I'm not. However, as a transmuter, I can do minor acts of alchemy. It is a field of study of mine.
Oh.
Does that count?
Would you say that is the minor field that Yoan would take as? Well, I guess you are a brewer.
I'm a brewer, and ultimately, like, my subclass feature isn't a philosopher's stone. So
Yeah. Okay. I will say with your unique combination of transmutation study and the fact that you are a brewmaster, I'll give you advantage on the check.
yay!
Nice.
Oh no, it's a 9. I knew that was
9?
gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
Yoan, you pore over the words and the glyphs. Some of them make sense to you, but definitely the language is coded, and probably half of it is written in thieves' cant. So you get maybe about like 25%. Nadara, you can probably read the other 25%, but between the two of you, you don't get quite a full book. This looks to be not only, partially a spell book, but also a book of recipes of potion making. It looks as though perhaps this was some sort of concoction that they were brewing sort of partially before they quickly had to move, but you can't tell exactly what it is at the moment.
It's chicken Kiev.
Sounds delicious.
Well, it's clear they should have spent more time at the Magisterium, but no. Good for that, aren't we? Or not good enough. Now what? What else was in here? There's oils and just materials and...
Looks like a bunch of reagents, alchemical ingredients. Looks like a couple of quarterstaffs in the making for their spell work.
You said the coals underneath the cauldron were hot still?
Mm-hmm.
Do we see, or can I see any other sign of recent activity in the room?
Give me your choice, investigation or perception.
Perception. 7.
There's a faint heat that's rolling off of this cauldron, but it largely looks inert and not a lot of activity happening.
I would just say, everyone keep your wits away. Looks like someone's been here recently. Do we see any signs of our missing box?
Oh, that's a good question. You very clearly do not see the reliquary in the requisitions.
Okay. Is there anything you see?
Is there any way that I would have had any, inkling of what happened in this place before? Could I use a history check to be like, something seems up,
Can you specify, what do you mean by what came before?
Is there any nefarious, plots going on because it's an old place? Just because it's got an ancient history doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have people who can take advantage of that and make people get hurt because of it. You know what I mean?
I would say, from what you've seen so far, this place does actually not look that ancient. This place more so gives the vibes of a naturally occurring cave. The cave itself might be old, but all of their additions that they've made to it seems fairly recent.
Oh, okay. In which case, could I somehow use my perception to help us out in some way?
What are you looking for?
I guess ne'er-do-wells,
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just keeping an eye out, doing my security detail, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be, oh my goodness. Sorry, hold on.
As the dice rolls on the ground, what shall it be?
The dice rolled away from my sight. Here we go. That's gonna be oh no, that's only a 15.
A 15. You take a look around Zorvarax over your shoulder throughout the room. I mean, this is a fairly small place. It doesn't look like there's a lot of other areas that can be squeezed into or out of. It looks like it's just the locked door that was behind you that was the point of entry or exit.
I tried. Looks good to me.
So there's nothing here but damn cooking fire and a book.
As far as y'all know.
Before we end there, is there anything of value?
Ooh.
Is there any kind of smell?
I mean, there is the smell of a simmering chemical activity within the cauldron itself, for sure.
So I have see invisibility, but I don't want to burn it, and there's nothing in this damn room.
That's the risk you gotta take.
Yeah, I'd like to check the valuables, or specifically potions and stuff too.
Yeah,
Is
for
that
sure.
my fine?
Once again, you can give me your choice of perception or investigation.
All right, I'm immediately just gonna burn an inspiration on this because I've been really bad at perception. Yep, and I'm bad at perception. 14.
14. Nadara, you comb through some of the reagents and the bottles that are stacked up. Most of them look as though they were in the process of being made, but not quite finished. However, you do manage to reach back behind one of the shelves. Someone thought they had tucked away in the shadow behind a stone a bit of burlap and leather. Just off of the beaten path so that no one might stick their fingers in there. However, you, ever wary for something hiding in a corner, manage to tug on that string, and you pull out what appears to be a wrapping, and you can hear the clinking of 2 glass bottles inside of that wrap.
Ooh. Can I open it and see what it is?
You can. You undo the latch, you pull it open. You are very familiar with these frothing red vials. These look like 2 potions of healing.
Amazing. Okay. So just so everyone knows, I currently have 3 potions of healing on me. Okay. These ones. Since this seems so easy, any type of maybe Zolrax, you'd be good at this. Any type of trapdoor or secret entrances or something like that. We are working with mages.
I gave a look. I can give it again if they let me.
Well, remember, what you're looking for should be pretty specific. So if you're looking specifically for like a trapdoor or something like that, that's a little different than just keeping your eyes peeled for enemies, which is what I think was said before. So if you want to specifically look for that.
Can I look for trapdoors and get advantage because I have dungeon delver feat?
You may.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's still gonna be. What's the perception?
Perception should be under wisdom. I can say you can do that or investigation, your choice. If you're looking for a hidden something or other, a door or.
Either way, it's gonna be. Well, perception is the best one. It's gonna be 13.
13. Zorvrax, you train your hardened eye for anything that might be a secret entrance.
Tried
or
my
exit.
best.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It was a 10 or an 8 plus 3, so.
Okay.
Can Yoan search the shelves for any particularly reactive vials of anything? Something that might make a lot of fire or explode if exposed to more fire.
Just give me. I'll let you do it with advantage again since of your transmutational study. Give me an Arcana check to see if those reagents are there.
19.
Yes. You do manage to find a handful of maybe like a handful of red seeds and some oil and a bottle that you know if you put them all together and slammed them against something hard enough. It would, ignite quite readily. You can count that as if you have like an alchemist fire on your person.
Yoan's gonna do that real quick and go, we don't see anyone, right? We're done here. Haven't found anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's head out. He starts sort of ushering people out the door. Zorvrax, how would you like to slam a door very hard?
Oh, you don't have to, tempt me with a good time.
All right. Everybody out. Come on.
Yes, I do.
Let's go a little further. Does everybody leave the room at Yoan's insistence?
Yep, I'll leave.
I don't know what you're doing, but I trust you enough to do it.
Leaving the room. As soon as everybody's out of the room, he looks at Zorvrax and goes, on 3. Ready?
Ready.
He takes his little Molotov cocktail, just like whips it at the cauldron and goes, 3!
Do you want me to do a strength check or should I just go? Because I'm here for it.
So you're trying to slam the door shut after the...
I'm basically trying to, if there's somebody in there, I'm smoking them out.
We're slamming that door.
Okay, yes, give me an athletics check, Zorvarax.
Will I ever? That is a 12 plus 5, 18.
18, okay. So...
17, that's not math. 17.
Oh yeah, 12 plus 5. Okay, so a couple things happen. Yoan, you chuck the alchemist fire at the cauldron. It lands at the lip with a burst of fire, and immediately you begin to see the contents of the cauldron begin to violently boil and bubble and hiss. Seeing that, Zorvrax quickly slams shut the door and like braces it with his sturdy arm. I think even just seeing this, yeah, just flexing that big blue meat. Then you see Theodore also runs forward and places the shield against like the door as well, like seeing what's happening. There is a resounding as bits of flame, and you even hear like splashes of some sort of caustic liquid hit up against the wood, and you can see it searing and sizzling, like burning through the other side. But with your mighty strength, you manage to prevent the door from exploding outward. Girl Carol says, "Big blue meat is canon." I said what I said. I'm gonna stick by it. I'm sticking by it. There is a plethora of fumes and acrid smells and heat emanating from this room. However, you don't hear any coughing, any sputtering, you don't hear any cries of pain, but it definitely seems like you've created some grand effect on the other side of this door.
Well, on the one hand, there wasn't anyone in there. On the other hand, ruined whatever they were cooking. Let's go.
Yoan, I will give you a point of inspiration. Y'all want to keep the door closed, not investigate?
Oh, very much.
Okay.
Yep.
I light it on fire.
And just to add insult to injury, great, whips the flame. We are getting close to time for the night, but I want to handle one thing as we're heading back towards the main hall. So I'm assuming that everybody is moving away from requisitions into Central Hall, unless you have any other path. Okay. And we're still marching forward with Lady Vision at our side?
I assume so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the party is marching their way down to the hallway, but cool guys don't look at explosion as the wall behind them is currently aflame and like leaking with alchemical liquid, just charring the stones. Everyone's like slow motion walking down the corridor. You hear at the other end of the hallway a strange sort of chittering.
Nope.
Sort of echoing throughout the canyon, and you begin to hear a sort of clopping of nails on the stones, getting ever nearer as a large sort of bulbous head peeks around the corner from the break of where the Requisitions Hall leads into the Central Hall. I think if I did this right, if I hit view on my screen, you should be able to get a picture of what takes a look at you.
Oh my god.
See, did I do it right? There we go. You see a vaguely humanoid figure.
Wait, what?
Leathery flesh. With large spines growing out of its shoulders and backside, with a maw full of razor-sharp teeth and a huge, glowing, malevolent eye, which is staring at the party, which is marching forward. And you see that grin sort of widen at the edge of its lips as those clawed hands grab the edge of the hallway, as a more excited sort of echoes out from under its throat, as it very clearly notices the party who has just lit the Requisitions Hall on fire.
Fun.
No.
And I believe.
Did I do that?
And I believe that is where we can end our session with this mysterious one-eyed gremlin. I shouldn't say gremlin, it's quite large, but it is this creature.
The scare gremlin.
Gremlin.
Yeah.
Gibbering and staring at the party as they are marching down the hallway. And I think that is where we'll call our session for the evening.
Boy.
No!
It was so easy, wasn't it? Just walking through the hallways.
I just say it.
Hey.
But with
Yeah,
that being said, I want to thank everyone who showed up tonight and was watching in chat. Ailing, I see you saying, kiss its eyeball, it'll blind it. I mean, it's a strategy.
Hey, that's a
Persuasion.
strategy.
Thank you, everyone, for stopping by tonight. This is Level 1 Adventuring. Who are we? We are a TTRPG and RPG content platform. We're a stream. We're a YouTube channel. Follow us on all the things. There's like 10, I think, or 11 episodes prior to this you can catch up to figure out how the party got here and got eye to eye with a giant glowing green eye on the other side. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Wolf Scott. You can check me out here at least 2 other nights a week, sometimes 3, and the adjacent party members as well. We run solo games, big group games like D&D, Follow Magic, a bunch of stuff. I'm also going to plug Stella's stream again this coming Saturday. If you join our Discord, I'll post about it. Stella's running a D&D game for a veterans charity, which I'm going to be a part of, so I highly recommend you come check it out. Stella runs a great game, a fellow streamer here. Also, check out StreamLabs and StreamSpell, our affiliate links down below if you'd like to upgrade the look of your stream. And thank you to Tabletop Audio. I forgot to shout them out before, but Tabletop Audio for giving us this lovely ambient, spooky backtrack. Gives us a bunch of great music for free, and we love that. And with that, I will hand it over. I'm going to announce our party members to outro themselves. Lauren, why don't you say goodbye to our friends out there in TV land?
Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. I am going to actually be joining another D&D podcast soon. My episode should be rolling out relatively soon. It's called The Freedom Guild. So I'll definitely announce again when I'm officially on, but we have recorded, so it should be soon. But thank you so much for tuning in to Level 1 tonight.
Nice. Amber.
Thank you everyone for joining tonight. You can catch me over at my Twitch, in which I need to stream more consistently, but you know what? We're not gonna leave that off. If you want to follow me, I'm Girl with Caramel over there, or the Girl with Caramel skin over there. And next Tuesday is my birthday, so.
Oh! Birthday time. Kimani.
I don't got nothing to plug, but be kind, drink water. Thank you.
Those are good things to plug. Those are admirable goals. Garrett.
What Kamane just said, but again, all of it, except I'm Garrett.
We've been redeemed to hydrate as well. And now Zach.
And it is me, Zach. I also say drink water.
Well then,
go for it. Fulfill your dreams. Follow your goals. Everybody can do everything. Go for it.
That's so much
inspirational.
pressure.
Yeah, so much pressure.
Entirely ignoring the lessons of Ratatouille.
That's me. Rakakuni.
Well, thank you everyone for joining the stream. We found the Forsaken hideout. We've begun to plumb through their halls. We've now defaced it and exploded it, and have possibly run into their first sentry, their first line of defense in these mysterious cave networks. So we'll pick up next stream with seeing what happens now that they've alerted some force within the darkness. And we'll see you then. So until then, thank you. We'll see you on the Discord, and enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to run the outro. Be good, be easy. See y'all.
Later.